Mosin Nagant 9130 metric 15x1 muzzle brake, part 1 of 3. What we have here is a Mosin Nagant model 9130 barrel. If we take micrometers and measure it, you will see that it is about 14.8 millimeters, plus a little bit. Now we have checked several model 9130 barrels, and they have all been about 14.8 plus millimeters. Now this is the very tip. As you go down the barrel, the thickness increases. So conventional thought would be, if you wanted a 15 millimeter thread, that the barrel would be too small. Well, here's a die, and I think you can see on it here that it's a 15 by 1 metric. In the middle of the die we have a die starter. Now we have a muzzle brake here, an AK-74 style from CNC Warrior, and we had a special request. We requested that they thread it 15 by 1 metric right hand. Now you can see that the die starter fits in there just perfect. Nice and tight, not loose at all. Well, here's our discovery. When you take a 15 by 1 thread and measure it with micrometers, it is 14.9 millimeters. It's not 15, it's 14.9. Because of this and the fact that the Mosin barrel gradually gets larger as you go from the tip down the barrel, we can thread it with a metric 15 by 1 thread. Now this is not the standard thread for an AK-74 style muzzle brake. What we did is we contacted Denny at CNC Warrior, and he made it special for us. It is part number 24332. A 15 by 1 metric right hand type 74 muzzle brake. So that is how, or why, we can do this. If you check the website and part number 24332 is not there yet, then send Denny an email and ask him specifically for it. Okay, at the same time that we thread the muzzle brake, we're also going to remove the front sight and the front sight base. Basically, you just need to clamp it in nice and tight and get a punch and pound it out. It's just on there with a little dovetail, comes out pretty easily. Okay, now for the little bit more challenging part, we're going to grind this base off so it's flush with the barrel. We ground off the sight base with a grinder and put it in the vise. Alright, we got our barrel back in the vise. We're going to use plumber's cloth. Plumbers use this for cleaning pipes, and it works excellent for what we're going to do for it here. You get a section of that, just wrap it around the barrel, and it's like gauze cloth, only with sandpaper on it. And you just work it over. We're going to thread the end of this barrel. Taking the sight off, we need to smooth out the spot where that sight was. And it takes the bluing off, but we'll just re-blue it later. This is the end of our video part 1, the preparations. Now go and watch part 2, where we actually do the threading.